Many types of tools are used for measuring. And many of these tools measure the same thing. Can you guess what it is? These are tools used to measure time. Some of them measure shorter periods of time, while others measure much longer periods of time. Specific units are used to describe different lengths of time. The second, minute, and hour are some of the smallest units of time. The time it takes you to blink your eyes is about 1 second. The second hand on a clock shows the seconds passing. Stopwatches and some other timers also count seconds. The minute is the next largest unit of time. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. Although a minute is longer than a second, it is still a short period of time. You might be able to hold your breath for 1 minute, or hop on one foot for a minute. However, you would not be able to do these things for 1 hour. Just as there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Many things can be done in 1 hour. Cooking a meal, taking a bike ride, or mowing the lawn can take about an hour. What unit would be most appropriate to measure the amount of time it takes you to brush your teeth? The second, minute, or hour? Hopefully, you brush for more than a few seconds. Hours are too long. The minute is the best unit for measuring this amount of time. It should take you about 2 minutes to brush your teeth. What unit would be best for measuring the amount of time it takes to watch a movie? The hour is the best unit for this example. Most movies are about 2 hours long. Which unit is best for measuring the time it takes a basketball to go from a player's hands to the hoop? The second is the best unit of time to measure this brief action. Knowing how many seconds are in a minute, or how many minutes are in an hour, can help you compare amounts of time.
Let's learn how to tell time using digital clocks. This is pretty easy since all we have to do is read through the numbers. For example, let's read the time on this clock. Note that we have to read 2 numbers separated by a colon. So this clock says 8:30. Let's try the second clock. Notice that we have 2 zeros on the right side of the colon. This means 60 minutes or 1 hour has passed. However, we don't read it as 00. In telling time, we read this as o'clock. So this clock reads as 2 o'clock. Let's move on to telling the time using analog clocks. Analog clocks have 2 hands. The hour hand is the short one, and the minute hand is the long one. A few things to remember. If the minute hand is pointed at 12, it represents 60 minutes or 1 hour and is read as o'clock. While if it's pointed at 6, it represents 30 minutes. And sometimes the hour hand will not point exactly at a number. In these cases, follow the number which it has recently passed. Let's try reading this analog clock. The hour hand is pointed at 4. And the minute hand is pointed at 12. So the time is 4 o'clock. How about this next clock? The hour hand is pointed somewhere between 8 and 9. Meaning it is just past 8, while the minute hand is pointed at 6. So the time is 8:30. Let's test our time-telling skills by choosing the correct digital clock that matches the analog clock. The hour hand is pointed at 6, and the minute hand is pointed at 12. So the time is 6 o'clock. This is the same as digital clock B. Next, the hour hand is pointed between 1 and 2, meaning it is just past 1. While the minute hand is pointed at 6. So the time is 1:30. This is the same as digital clock A. Next, both the hour and minute hands are pointed at 12. So the time is 12 o'clock. This is the same as digital clock D. Next, the hour hand is pointed between 6 and 7, meaning it is just past 6, while the minute hand is pointing exactly at 6. So the time is 6:30. This is the same as digital clock C. You did great!